Hi everybody, Julie here. As many of you know, you may not know, I'm into child advocacy big time. I'm a guardian ad litem for the state of Florida, and I am real big about people standing up for rights and educating people. Before I get started on this little video, just to let you know, I am an amateur. My videos are not professional by any means, and I just wanted to let you know that. I live with my mom, my daughter, my granddaughter. I always start my video telling you this, and two chihuahuas that like to bark sometimes. So I try to tell you a little bit where you're not caught off guard. If I'm doing a video and somebody comes in the background, you hear something in the background. So I always like to tell everybody that. I'm gonna be up front. I do lots of different kinds of videos. I do Timo videos. I just did a bunch of those because I was way behind on those. Well, basically I bought a bunch of stuff for Christmas, and I kind of ordered it all within like a few days of each other, so it just kind of, and I didn't do the first two, and then all of a sudden the other stuff came, so it's crazy. And then I want some free stuff in Fishland, so still got something coming with that. I not only do the Temu videos, I'm an Avon rep, been an Avon rep for over 20 years. I do Avon videos, I do the child advocacy videos, I do inspirational videos, and people have been asking for another one, so I gotta do one of those after I do this one. And I do travel videos because I love to travel. So let me get into this this video, and some of you probably saw it a minute ago because I held it up a little too high. I bought the movie Sound of Freedom. I went to see this in the movie theaters. Excellent movie. I ordered this from Angel Studios. This is the way it comes packaged in the regular DVD. Open up, you got the DVD. You have the little paperwork that talks about Angel Studios and how you can watch more shows that amplify light, and then it's talking about you support the shows you love. This movie was a very good movie, so I had to buy it. I got it on Black Friday special for half off, so I thought that was an excellent deal. But I do want to read the back of the movie thing for you, the thing. God's children are not for sale. Sound of Freedom, based on the incredible true story, shines a light on even the darkest of places. After rescuing a young boy from ruthless child traffickers, a federal agent learns the boy's sister is still captive and decides to embark on a dangerous mission to save her. With time running out, he quits his job and journeys deep into the Colombian jungle, putting his life on the line to free her from a fate worse than death. So, this movie was excellent. That's why I bought it. I wanted to have a copy of it, that way I can share it with friends, show it, and whatever I need to do to promote this. Now, I will tell you this, because I am a child advocate, this movie is based on a true story. Now, it is a movie. It's made to be a movie, so it's made to draw an audience, okay? So there was a lot of talk about this. It's not just like this. And the end was different than what really happened in real life. I will tell you that. But this is based on a true story. Tim Ballard does go out and rescue children. So there's been some controversy about that. And, they talk about, every time, I don't know why they don't want this movie out. This movie draws attention to a very serious problem because, let me tell you, live in Florida, number 3 in the country for human trafficking, okay? Trafficking is out there. Now, I will tell you this, as an advocate, this is what trafficking looks like in some of the third world countries, okay? Generally, not very often happens this way in America, okay? That doesn't mean this is not a good movie. This movie is drawing attention to a problem, and it's touching people's hearts because God's children are not for sale, okay? This touches on something very, very a heavy issue. And we in the USA are the #1 consumers. So because we have this big industry, sex sells, they're using children, they're enslaving people to make, it's a $150 billion a year business. Okay? Now, how do you protect your child? okay? Because this is true. This happens in those countries that aren't as advanced as we are, okay? This can happen. It can even happen here, but generally not as much, okay? I don't want to tell you about the movie because I don't want to give it away, but I'm going to tell you that this was it shows you it's in a different country, so they traffic very differently here. And I want to tell you something right now. If you let your child have a cell phone, you better put every protection on it. You better monitor it, because that's the way they're getting our children now. They are getting our children online now. Video games, apps, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, all these videos. And if you have not watched TikTok videos later, talk about some groomers on there. Horrible things. So you've got to be on top of it, folks. If you're not paying attention to what your children are doing online, this kind of stuff can happen, okay? In the movie, somebody posed as looking for models, and they found the sister, and then they liked the brother, so they brought him in. And before this guy could even do anything, his children were gone. There are some cases I would never let my child, if somebody tell you can't be in the room while something's happening with your child, never, ever, ever do it. You're going to be in that room. You're going to be with them. You're not leaving them out of your sight. Okay? Protect your children. Monitor their games. Monitor their apps. Any social media, any messaging apps. Monitor them all. Because what they're doing with our children now is what they'll do, they say they're playing a game or they're on an app. They'll find these kids who are vulnerable. They're not happy. And they'll become their friend. These kids don't know they're talking to an adult who's manipulating them. It may be something very seriously or very innocent. Send me a picture. Then send me a picture without your top on, or send me this, Young girls, they the teenagers, they act like they're their boyfriends and they're interested in them. They're unhappy. So they prey on them. Oh, well, why don't you come with me? I'll come pick you up and we'll go do this, this, and this. Or maybe they're sending those pictures in. They start blackmailing them. You need to send me more pictures. You might find your child's picture on the internet. So they blackmail them. If you don't do with this, then I'm going to tell your parents. If you don't do this, I'm going to kill your family. So they use this, they bribe them, and then they blackmail them. And when they take them, they beat them down. They drug them up, and they use them and abuse them. Guys, we've got to find a way. Americans are the number one consumers of the filthy stuff they make. And the stories for these children are heartbreaking. I've been to many trafficking classes and seen many stories. One of the ones that really got to me, is they were talking about this young girl. She was probably, now the prime age is 12 to 14, and they're really starting to where they're picking up on preying on boys a lot more. But this little girl, she was in this room, and she had this glass. Now, this wasn't in the movie. She had this glass, and it was full of marbles. Each marble was a John that came. That many times that she was violated. Glass full of marbles. All those men violating that child. And you know what? These kids don't get that money. That all goes to the one who's pimping them out. They give them a place to live. They try to make them feel like they're part of the family. When they don't do what they're supposed to do, they beat them down. It's just so. They do it over and over again, And I think I'm gonna use this video as my child advocacy video. So go see The Sound of Freedom. Well, you can't see it in theaters. Buy it. Check out Angel Studios. They have an app you can download. They have lots of content. And the reason I didn't buy this from Amazon, I'm sure you can get it from them. I bought it from Angel Studios itself because they're crowdfunded. And what that means is they don't have a big studio backing them. They raise money by people paying it forward, where people can see these movies for free a lot of the time, or they do it by the merchandise they sell. Got this Black Friday sale, 50% off. I was very happy, glad I got it. But you definitely need to check it out. Now let me talk a little bit, since I'm going to make this into my child advocacy video and not just a Sound of Freedom video. There's so many aspects of child abuse and neglect. So let me talk about different things that you can watch about different subjects like this. If you, in a realm like this, there's an excellent documentary. It is on Amazon. It's called Blind Eyes Open. It's a documentary, has many people that have been trafficked in their stories and them talking about it. It's a must-see if you're interested in learning about it. The most heart-wrenching thing about that one is them telling us about the kids. They're trafficking these kids. Well, they send these kids to school, and they may be trafficking your kid right in the school cafeteria. Scary, isn't it? It happens. Scary. Another good one, if you haven't seen the Gabriel Hernandez files on Netflix, very good. That one happened in the state of California, and the little boy was killed by his mother's boyfriend. I don't think they were married. It had been reported time and time again, the teachers and everything. The system just really failed that child. It's very heartbreaking series, but it's something that needs to be seen for people to realize what's going on and how we need to stand up, and we need to make a better system. I mean, we've got to help the children, and it's just heartbreaking. I just watched one this week, Taking Care of Maya. I think that's what it's called. It's on Netflix. It's about a child here in Florida, down in South Florida. And they were blaming her mother for her medical treatment, that she was medically diagnosed by a doctor, was basically kidnapped because they held her hostage in the hospital by Child Protective Services. Heartbreaking story. You really need to see it. And I live in Florida, and I know the system's broke, but it's broke everywhere, because let's face it, you've got these case managers with hundreds of children. There's not enough caseworkers. You can't pay them enough for what they go through. They can go to McDonald's and work for almost as much as they're making going into dangerous situations helping children. So, you have to know that the system needs help. That's why I'm glad that I live in a state. Now in Florida, not every state's the same. Some states, your guardian ad litem's CASA have to be lawyers. In Florida, we're trained volunteers. We have to take the initial 30 hours of training, and then we have to do 12 CEUs every year. We know what we're doing. I've been doing it. I've been going on 11 years that I've been a guardian ad litem, and I can tell you, I'd say at least 80 to 90% of my cases are because of the parent's substance abuse, which causes a lot of the abuse and neglect. Because a lot of parents, when they're not on drugs, they're awesome people. But when they're doing the drugs, when they're in the drugged up state of mind, that's when the neglect and abuse happens. And until we fix the parents, we're going to keep having this problem. So it's not just a problem. It's not just a child problem. It's such a multifaceted thing. We have to help the parents. And it's this vicious cycle of abuse where you have a child, but his mom or his dad was a child that grew up in the system too. So it's just this vicious cycle of abuse. And we have to figure out what we can do to try to make things better, because more children are going to die. Sorry, I can't stop yawning tonight. There are so many different things that you can watch. I can't even go into all of them. There's books out there. A very good one that I read years ago before I ever became an advocate, A Child Called It. Look it up. Excellent book. Poor guy. He went through so much. It's just an amazing story of survival, and it has 2 sequels to it. So there's lots of different books like that from survivors. Also, if you, one of the things, and I actually did my last child advocacy video on this, it's called Innocence Lost. You can look up Innocence Lost, Miami Herald Journal. It is I think it was a 4-year study that they did in the state of Florida, where in that 4-year period, over 500 children died that had some kind of interaction in state care. That's truly heartbreaking. It's just horrifying that in a 4-year period that over 500 children died, and they were, many of them, report after report, and it's just mind-boggling that they fell through the cracks. They were placed back with parents. Some of them were with foster parents, some of them were with grandparents, some of them were with their real parents. So these people had been turned in. Some of them had turned in multiple times. There was one lady that was on her 10th kid, and all the other kids had been taken away, and then she had the 10th kid, and she still had the kid. It was before they took it away, and that baby died. I mean, it's mind-boggling, folks. It is mind-boggling. What can you do? Get educated. Check out my child advocacy videos. This one's going to be short and sweet because I really wanted to go on about the Sound of Freedom, and tell you need to watch it. It's a very good movie. Watch some of the other ones I talked about. Very good, because we can't do anything. People don't even realize. They don't even realize what's going on. They don't realize how prevalent child abuse is, and how oh my gosh, folks, it's just, Blind Eyes Open was eye-opening. It's heart-wrenching to think that some family members do this to their own family, and there's a higher percentage, a way higher percentage than you'd think, of families, people pimping out their children for drugs and stuff like that. It's just heartbreaking. So, like right now, the biggest trend is for CSAC, which is the internet crimes on children. So, just find a lane that you like. Write your government people. I've written our governor. I've written a couple Congress people. So, write the people that can maybe one day do something about it if they cared to. But we have to do something. And this world's an ugly place right now, and our children are going to suffer for the crimes of the adults. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I need to do one more video, and I am bushed and ready to turn in for the night. So I thank you so much for watching this video. Continue to watch for more. I really want to get, I want to figure out what I want to put on the next video. So I'm going to put something together and put it in for you, but I've got some other things I've got to attend to first. So this was kind of a Sound of Freedom child advocacy duo there. So I thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. And it's that time of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. Whatever you believe, I hope you have a very blessed holiday season. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye-bye.